Welcome to the day in a, a day in the life of a devoted daughter-in-law. Taking care of my mother-in-law, and I tell you, it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. Some days are rewarding. Other days, other days can be a bit challenging. But overall, knowing that I can make her day some kind of way means a lot to me. Because we all got to leave here one day. And it's like I have made it. Anything I do it with heart, right? I give it my all. I don't care what kind of job I'm working, what I put my mind to. That's just the way I move, right? So when I think about my mother-in-law, I think about how she's close to transitioning. And even though she still gets around and everything like that, but I just want to make it like a little heaven here for her, you know? And in doing so, it brings its challenges. There are misunderstandings sometimes, and my mother-in-law is dealing with a plethora of health issues, and one mainly being dementia. And when an elderly loved one has that, they forget things. They sincerely like. I mean, it's to the point like if I'll make her dinner and give her a dessert on the side, she'll forget the dessert is there. And she'd be like, I asked for this, but you didn't give it to me. And it's like, Mom, I did give it to you. It's sitting right there. And she'll be like, oh. And it's almost like mind boggling because how can you forget something a second later? But that is the nature of dementia. And what also comes with that is being accused of thievery, you know. And I don't get upset because I know that it's a mental thing, and but it's just amazing to me. Like, wow. But I do know that I believe that sugar plays a major role in causing dementia because it thickens your blood, and sugar just really eats away at your body. That's the only thing that takes and does not give back at all. That's the white devil. It's the sugar and the salt, if it's not sea salt. Anyway, I'm big on health, so I always go off into a little tangent about things like that. But taking care of a loved one with major health problems, it's a ministry. It really is. And you got to have a heart for it because there are days when I get like, how dare her? How dare she thinks that she can say this or do that? And then I have to think about it like, wait a minute, she's aging. And of course, she's open for discarnate beings to come through her because when you don't have your mental faculties together, other things can step in. It's what we knew in the church world back in the day as a walk-in, and I see them, and and I feel them when they come because it's like she snaps out of who she is. Like she'll say stuff like, "Those aren't my clothes." Like I'll do her laundry and she'll be like, "That's not my shirt. You stole my clothes." And I'm like, "No, I didn't steal your clothes, Mom, and this is your shirt." And she'll say, "No, it's not. No, it's not. You're giving me other people's clothes. And this is like amazing to watch because it's a total spiritual mind fuck, so to speak. But it has drawn me closer to her at the same time because it's like, you just want to heal them, you want to love them, you want to nurture them. I try to feed her good every day. I do. I feed her well. She's picking up. She just lost 2 pounds. We had a doctor's appointment today, and yeah, she lost 2 pounds, but it's just challenging. And my mother-in-law is still trying to find the level of comfort to tell me when she hurts herself. Like I didn't know she hurt herself. I didn't know, but she doesn't want to ask for help. when I say this is a ministry, it's a ministry. And it's teaching me a lot. It's really teaching me a lot about being persistent, being consistent, and being truly who you are with somebody. Because I'm going to tell you, you can't fake empathy. You can try, but eventually the mask falls off. You can't fake caring for somebody. If you really don't care, it's going to show that you really don't care, you know. And I've always known that I'm a loving and caring person, and this shows that that's really who I am. I have the endurance for this because it's work. It's work, like, but it's a labor of love. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like taking care of a child. It really is. And well, between my mother-in-law and my puppy, I got a full-time job and house chores and things like that. But turns out it was something that I could be compensated for, and I am being handsomely compensated for doing what I'm doing, but which I would have done for free because it's my mother-in-law, and you know that's my husband's mother, and if I'm needed, hey, duty calls. I'm that kind of woman. There's still some of us out here, and I know I got the grays and silvers going on. I'm a woman of a certain age. I have adult children myself, and I'm a grandmother, but love, love, you know, and I think my husband may have been a bit taken aback, like, you willing to do that? I'm willing to do that. You damn Skippy, I'm willing to do that. That's what it's all about, you know. Um, so I elected to take this on full time, and I have no regrets. There are some low moments when there is some distinction between us because she feels a certain way, and you know you have to let, when they're going through their bouts of dementia, fits of dementia, like you have to let them express themselves. You can't get angry. You can't, because you're not dealing with somebody that's in their right mind. And when you look at it that way, then you understand she's having an episode. And this is not her, because she doesn't even recognize her own clothes. That's deep, ain't it? Anyway, um, yeah, so we went to the doctor today and everything went well. I advocated for my mother-in-law. Got all the appointments I need to get for her so we can make sure she's okay. But one thing about this is that I can heal her. I can totally heal her. I understand about herbs, and I got a whole apothecary in my kitchen. I mean, I got everything from A to Z. That's what I get into. And but the thing is you can't heal someone who does not want to heal, because even though I may give her all the good things that she needs to heal her body, if she doesn't stop eating the sugar and too much salt and all that kind of stuff. But I'm flipping that around now. She got a meal delivery, so she's getting great meals, and I make sure that I give her healthy stuff. I make her drink water because my mother-in-law does not like to drink water, and she don't like vegetables. You know, so I am working on that, and yeah, just a day in the life, taking care of someone with dementia. Um, it's a ministry, like I said, it really is. Um, yeah, but I love it. I love every minute of it. And I've just always been the kind of person, if I feel like I can help in some kind of way, I'm there. I'm that person. Let me roll up my sleeves. Let's go. What need to be done? Let's get it. You know, I'm that. So to me, I wouldn't say it gives me purpose, but I feel like I am living my destiny, because I always said, you know, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Now I'm in my 50s. But I realize the thing that brings me joy is bringing someone else joy, taking care of someone, and making sure that they're okay. You know, that for some of us, that's our purpose. And it doesn't mean you are less than because you're not trying to have this big career. You just, what did Christ say? Let the one that serve you be the greatest amongst you. And naturally, that is my gift. It's what I like to do. I like to serve. I love serving her meals. I love making sure she gets her showers. I love making sure that I cleaned her dentures the other night. I soaked them, brushed them, and that's what I like to do. I like to make someone else's life better, easier, you know? And that brings me joy. Something as simple as that. Shit. Giving money to the homeless or buying the homeless a meal. One day I was going through the drive-through from getting me something to eat, and this was like a few months back. What is it, buddy? This was like a few months back, and there was a man in a wheelchair that had only 1.5 leg. And I told that man, "Come here, Marley." He was like, "I'm so hungry." I pulled over. Come here. Come here, boo-boo. Here. Come up here. That's my little pooch right here. That's my little pup. Look, Marley. Look. Look at that mopper. Look. So I told that man, I said, "What do you want? Just tell me what you want." And he was like, "I just need a burger. And if you could just give me a drink." And I said, "Oh, you got it. You got it." He's like, "Can you give me a meal?" So I got him a meal. And it was cold out that day. And he was sitting in his little wheelchair. And I took him the meal and his drink. And my heart bled for that man. You know, he was an older black dude. And I'm like, damn. He's like, "I got to get back to the shelter." And he said, "I'm going to get on the bus." I said, I got you something to eat. You know, I gave him something to eat. And boy, if people would just take the time out to show love to people. Ain't that right, Mama? Say, yeah, show some love. Ain't that right? And we sit up there and we pay tithes to these preachers. I ain't been in the church in a long time. Paying tithes to these preachers and going out buying all this stuff and everything. You know, you wonder why America's under judgment. People don't have love and care for their fellow man, for their fellow woman, you know. I've always been a bleeding heart. And I had to learn how to use it. And I had to learn when to use it, because in my life, I have poured myself out to people. And only, man, I could tell some stories. Only when my turn came to receive, it always came from somebody else. You ever heard that saying, pay it forward? You may do something for someone, but don't expect that it's going to come back to you through that same person, because it just don't work like that. Sometimes people will, sometimes they won't. You know, like the scripture says, "I've been young and I've been old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." And I have never had to beg for anything. I've never been forsaken. Because when you live from the heart, and I'm not talking about putting on a show, I'm talking about truly coming from your heart, things always work out for you. And that has been the story of my life. And I did a video the other night about the Pisces age and being happy that now we're in the Aquarian age. It's like, in the Pisces age, I sacrificed a lot. I did, and gave a lot, and I still do it, because I realize it's just who I am. You know, when you know your birth chart and you understand yourself, would you stop licking me, little boy? And you understand, I just fed you some chicken. You ate all my chicken bones. And you understand yourself. You won't feel like, why can't I be hard like the next person? Why can't I be a biatch? You know what I'm saying? Why can't I be that boss? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but when you're growing up and you don't have an understanding, you think, "Oh, I'm a pushover. What's wrong with me? Why am I so soppy? Why am I just so..." There's nothing wrong. It's who you are. And in this age of Aquarius, this is how your currency flows, through living out your destiny. And I'm doing that, and I get to be home. I don't have to hit nobody's alarm clock, you know, and I get to just get up and do what brings me, you know, gratitude. You know, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. When I was doing the 9 to 5, because I was in my career field for over 25 years. And when I was working in my field, I hate to sound like this, but it's almost like I was too good. I was too good for a regular workplace because, see, I would work with integrity. I would give my all while everybody else standing around looking like I'm going to get away with what I'm going to get away with. I would give my all and then some. And it was so hard, you know, to waste time on the clock. I'm not going to hold you up. I'm so dead serious. It was hard for me to sit around and take advantage of my employer. I couldn't do it. I'm like, damn, I'm here to work. I got to be here anyway. Let me do the work. And people start feeling like, well, so she'll do it. Let her do, and I still couldn't stop. And it was like, why am I doing this as unto God? Doesn't that book say, do all things as unto God? And that's how I approach every area of my life. That's called having integrity, doing the right thing even when ain't nobody looking. And even when it comes to my mother-in-law, and I know some daughter-in-laws can be real biatches to their moms, to their mother-in-laws. I can't do it. I can't. It's like there has been such a transformation. I mean, even when I do get upset, it's like I get over it quick. I get over it real quick. Because, see, what I realize is that we in the matrix. None of this is real. Even my little poo-poo not real. We in the matrix. It's not real. These little 3D bodies we got, you don't take them with you when you leave. That's why you shall know them by their fruits. If it stink, if it smell like a skunk, if its colors is black and white, guess what? It's a skunk. Okay? You know them by their fruits. This could lead me into so many other topics when it comes to dating, when it comes to friendships. We could try to, like a dog kicks back over to cover up the shit, but that stuff gonna be unearthed eventually. That mask is gonna slip eventually. And my husband is still like, you are a good woman. You are just really, this is really who you are. And I'm like, yeah. After all these years, you don't realize that this is who I am. I genuinely care from the heart. And this is what the age of Aquarius is requiring, that you do things from the heart. No more just doing it to do it. You got to do what truly brings you your purpose. You know what I'm saying? If you're acting in your purpose, guess what? It's going to bring you monetary gain. It will. Because when I left my job, it just hit me one day. I'm like, I can't do this no more. I can't do it. For one, the guy, the lead on my job was trying to hit on me, and I would not go there with him, but he was running everything. So he turned everybody against me and made it difficult for me to do my job. I like physical jobs. I've had desk jobs in my field, and I don't like it. I gained 20 pounds working a desk job. I have to move. So I like the physicality, right? And being physical, when you're trying to do things in my particular field, we have to work as a team. But these people, would you stop kissing me, Marley? These people refuse to work with me. It was like, we'll help each other, but we're not going to particularly help you because the boss doesn't like you. And for me, I'm like, bring it on. I like a challenge because, see, it's already in me to do what's right. So I'm going to do it right anyway, whether someone helps me or not, because that's just who I am, right? But then it got to the point where it was like, I knew that they did not like me. They did not like me. In the Bible it says in the last days, there'll be those who will be despisers of those who do good. When someone don't like you, just not to like you because you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing. Remember in the scripture, he said, count it all joy when they despise you for my name's sake. His name's sake. Having the Christ consciousness. Not because the name Jesus, because there wasn't even a J back then. But meaning you're acting in the Christ consciousness, right? So people will not like you just because you're doing what's right. This is a wicked world that we live in. I mean, it is wicked. And I don't even know what to call this video. I guess just talking. I'm trying to get more comfortable with getting on here because I am a very private person. And I read a lot, as you can see. This is just some of my books. I got more in the other room, and it's just like, I'm private, but I know that these are the days that we need to get online. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Aquarius moon, so I definitely need to be on the line because air, Aquarius is about that air, things moving through the air, and I got a lot to share. But because I'm a super private person, it's taking time for me to really get comfortable with this modicum of expressing myself because, yeah, it's just, but it's something that needs to be done. It's a lot in me that needs to come out, and it's coming out slowly but surely. But basically, I just wanted to talk about taking care of our elderly loved ones and not just throwing them in nursing homes and, um, but like I said, if I never got compensated, I was still going to take care of her because if we fulfill the law by loving thy neighbor as thyself, this world will be peaceful. This world will be peaceful. If we treat people the way we want to be treated, why is that so hard? I tell you why. Lust, greed, it being discontent with your life, and competing. Competition is the worst thing that ever happened. Competing. When we're all one. When you compete, you're introducing somebody's got to be a loser, somebody's got to be a winner. That's not good, and that's gonna bring about envy, jealousy, and all them other works of the flesh, right? So yeah, I mean, if you love your neighbor as yourself and you apply that to everyone, life will be so much better. But look at me. I'm 21 minutes in. I don't want to hold y'all. Y'all probably want to hear everything I got to say anyway. But yeah, today was an interesting day taking my I'm going to put you down a little bit. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. I got to clean his little eye. He's a miniature poodle and his little eye runs. He don't like it. He don't like for me to mess with it, but my baby just got fixed. But get on, Marley. Go. Go, 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 go. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to spat off about that and be consistent with posting and feeling more comfortable in front of the camera. But yeah, y'all, show love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Treat people right. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And if it's coming from the heart, you don't have to fake it till you make it. You'll just be that. You shall know them by their fruits. Until next time, y'all, have a good one.